Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. It is Monday. What are we looking at? The 16th of October, halfway through the month. How are we doing today? Ready to learn, ready to grow, ready to interrupt some patterns? I sure hope so. That's working fine, as is, hopefully, this little boy. Got Mr. C. I hope you're doing good on your Monday, or maybe Tuesday, because I know it's Tuesday where you are. Welcome back to the stream. That's 2 in a row. I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I managed to get out and go for a 4-mile run, or more of a jog, today. The weather's beautiful. And I went for a 4-mile jog yesterday and a mile walk. And yes, I'm doing pretty good. Busy with work. Doing some custom hypnosis sessions with people. Almost finished my second. So yeah, all is good. All is good. And hey, Michelle, welcome back. How you doing? Hey, Christine, great to have you here. Welcome to the live stream. Hopefully your Monday's treating you well, and you're treating your Monday well, hopefully. Both ways. I didn't even know what episode we're looking at today. What episode number? 882. Uh-oh. There we go. 882 is going to be the number. I might as well write it down. 882. There we go. Pleased to hear it. Hey Mina, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, it was pretty good. I really want to get into my running again. I've kind of lost a bit of a love for it. I've been finding it a bit of a chore. But I think that's because I'm not doing it as efficiently. So I need to change a few things to be able to make that all good again. I'd love to get back into doing like a 4-mile, a 6-mile, and an 8-mile 3 times per week. Or as in running 3 times a week doing that. I haven't done an 8-mile for years. Done a 6 every so often. But I want to get back into my running. But other than that, busy. Tomorrow, well, Christine, do you have my hypnosis session on interview nerves? Do you? It's on the app in day and sleep version. Day and sleep version. That's going to really help because it pre-teaches the experience and gives you the beliefs and the learnings and lets go of fear. So yeah, if you go to the app, let me bring it. So if you go to the hypnosis library, I know we're not there yet. Not this section. There's a free section. All the episodes are in. But if you go in this section, there's one, I don't know if I scroll down, I don't go all the way down to I, but you can do a little search for interview, and then you got the day and the night. And that's going to be really hard. Lots of people have said they've done really, really well with that track. Hey Angela, great to have you here. I'm doing pretty good. I was saying I went for a nice 4-mile run in the sun on the trails. I didn't fall over this time, and I'm healing up. You can hardly tell. The bruise is almost gone. Almost gone. See how it's a little bit kind of yellow If you don't know, I fell over running, which wasn't so fun. Got scraped up a little bit. It didn't stop me going again, because we just gotta keep on doing it. But this is the hypnosis app, freehypnosis.app. Right there. Playlists and all sorts. And then, like I said, we got Mr. C right here. Mr. Cuddles Clough. Mr. CC. Yeah, I feel that. I've had some back issues myself, and some foot issues, like kind of sprains. But what I've noticed, here's what I have noticed. When I first, I went to Thailand to get a little bit fit, which I did really well. I want to get back to that weight. I'm about 6 pounds over that weight at the moment. But if when I came back, I was going running at 10 o'clock in the morning. That was my routine. These days, it's around, when I go live streaming, I usually go about 1 o'clock to get back to 2, have a shower, get ready, and for the live stream. Or on like a Tuesday or a Thursday, I might go like 1 o'clock or something. But on Saturday, no, I didn't work out Saturday, that was my rest day. On Sunday, it was a solar eclipse. I just thought it was a dark morning. But I got out around 10 o'clock and I was like, oh, this feels a lot better. So I did the same a little bit later today, but I think I'm gonna get back to that routine, like go for a 10 o'clock run. Probably have more energy because I fast morning and the afternoon, so I can get it close to my restoration time of my sleep. I think that might do the business, because I don't eat until 6. So I think that might be why. Hey Cheryl, welcome to the show. All the way in Australia as well. Welcome. Yeah. Thankfully no one was there to see me. I did look round, because when I looked round no one saw me. I then just laid on the floor for like 5 seconds, like, oh my goodness. But I like the funny ones where if I trip, to avoid embarrassment, I do a little jump. You know when you kind of do a little trip? I try to make it into a bit of a dance move, which then makes people go, he's just a little bit crazy. Hey, Kevin Long. How you doing? All the way on the East Coast. Hope you're doing well. Yeah. Not when I was all scraped up and stinging. But, lying on the floor is always good. A little bit. My goodness. I don't know if you can hear that. I was doing some work on the building over the road. So we'll see how things go. It was all quiet before the stream. But Mr. C's even looking. Yeah, you have. It's been a while. Oh, Look at him. Hey, Sue, great to have you here. Did I ever tell you my mum's called Sue? I don't know if I ever said that. But great to have you here. I hope you're doing well. So, last night, well, we'll have more of a serious conversation. I was looking at my stats on YouTube, and I try to be as efficient as possible. It's a really good name. It's gotta be, right? Susan Clough. Or Sue, though. Oosh. Well, that's good to hear. Hopefully you can take it easy a little bit. So as I was saying, I was looking at my YouTube stats, and I like to be efficient as possible with my day as possible, because efficiency is important to me. And I'm spending around 6 hours a week doing live streaming. Like, although I go live for what, an hour and 15, hour and a half, 3 times a week, that pushes up to, like, say, about 4 hours. And then I got like the prep time and also the editing of that, which is a lot trickier to then put it on podcasts and the app and put it onto YouTube in a cleaner copy. And I think at the moment it's taking up too much of my time based on the results that I'm getting. I've been consistent on YouTube for probably 2.5, 3 years now. And the growth on the YouTube lives aren't matching for when I do my other hypnosis stuff on YouTube. So although I always am a huge believer to be so consistent that results are impossible to be ignored, I'm also a crazy big believer is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results is insanity, right? That's what they say. So I am thinking, it's a thought, but I will most probably be dropping probably 1 live stream per week. 1 live stream per week. So might drop it down to 2 live streams per week, because I just got to make sure that whatever I do is my biggest value in life is success. That's always been my number one since I was like 21, because that means you get successful relationships, abundance, work, all of those things. Hey, Mr. Kevin Michael Reed. I was just talking about a brief little conversation we had on chat last night. 6 per week. Well, that's a lot of hours. That means I'm a full-time streamer. Pretty much. Look who it is. These two knew each other way back, and then found each other again on the live stream. But I am thinking of dropping a live stream per week down to 2. And at the moment, that's right. That's crazy weird, right? I'm thinking it may be the Wednesday one, maybe, because it's the hardest one to edit. When I'm recording my tracks, I can edit as I record, as I go. And because I'm not pressing all the buttons, it's a little bit easier, monitoring live things. So what do you think, though? Would you be okay with 2 live streams per week? Or in the future, maybe 1, or things like that? Let me know, because I want to make sure it's that, or I've got to get super efficient to keep doing 3, to then somehow make that be more efficient in all my other projects I do, because the live streams are obviously all free, and I've got my other business as my main program, and then my app and things. Well, you'd still be getting them. So my plan would be to do the Wednesday hypnosis in my studio, just not live. And that means I can do it quicker, faster, in like half hour, which then saves me about an hour on top. So you would still be getting the live streams. Sorry, you'll still be getting the video at 3 p.m. I just won't be there. I might be in the chat sometimes. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'll need to be efficient. Stop the main program. That's my business. That's my... I'd be on the streets. And therefore, I'd have to sell my equipment, and then... because I can't take that to the streets. So my main business funds the ability to go live and all the things. It funds actually a lot of, like this year, it's funded all of the app development of around 20K. Just like this week, I put 1K into it to make it more efficient. So I cannot stop that. Unless we got like tons and tons of views. Well, I'm still not going to stop that though, because I like that. That's my walking with me. I know you're joking, but I just want to be clear as to why. I'm still waiting for the invite. Just to visit you, let alone live in your studio. I said like a year ago, so when we're gonna have the studio party? The grand opening. I have not received one invite, and you know that to be true. You know that. Send me evidence that you've ever invited me, because that is a lie. I'll be honest in every single way. Yeah, the hypnosis will be there. We all want to invite. That is true. I understand. I understand you're a busy guy. I'm just saying, I've not had one invite. I'd fly out there, would hit the streets of your area. I'm not going to say where you're from. You're allowed to yourself. And then have a studio tour with all the good things. Like Kevin Michael Reid, if you don't know, has like an awesome, like he's a producer. He's got all the monitors, and he's just looking at all the monitors. Like, have you ever seen the TV studios with all the gear? That's Kevin Michael Reid. That's what we want to see. That's what I want. I want all the monitors too. So maybe I'm going to live with Kevin Michael Reid. Or in fact, Kevin Michael Reid, if you move out to San Diego, which I've said for you to do before, then we can have the sun as well. Yeah, he doesn't stop. All the projects. Theatre, as in directing theatre, lighting theatres, those other big things you do with the LED lights, space stuff. So that's my plan. I don't know when I'm going to do it. I might start next week. That we may go down to 2 streams per week, just as a test. Just as a test. Because we get consistently, like right now we've got 17 people live. And we get up to like 25. But we don't ever really go beyond that. So if I can minimize my time, then I can actually be more efficient. I can produce more. I can create more. It's that, or we do it and we don't have any really like talking, which I know you guys like to talk. You guys like to talk. So that's going to be my plan, maybe starting next week. And the reason why it's hypnosis one, because I can just do that a lot easier without the cameras. You've seen it? You've not seen Kevin Michael Reed's studio. That's never been shared, unless you're meaning something else. Yeah. Because that's the plan, right? To be able to help people. Can't ignore now they're there. But like I said, we could give it a test. One of the tests I've got lined up for this is when I'm away in England, I won't be live streaming, but I've already got all the content lined up for like the 3 times per week. So then I'll be able to have a good, although it's like a different month, I will have, as in like Christmas time, people have more time, less time, who knows. But I can have an analysis of not going live and seeing what's happening. And we'll start in a minute. I know we're talking. I can just hear the whatever work they're doing outside. Can you hear that, by the way? If you can't hear that, we just jump into it. Anyway, that's my semi-news. My thoughts of last night. I'll keep thinking of it. If there's another solution, and we'll just see what happens. Are we all good with that? Will we be fine? You'll still get your hypnosis session. It would just be not live. And here's the other good thing about that, by the way. It will be a better session. I am, without trying to be overconfident here, when I'm just recording with no camera, I can do 5 times better. At least. Hey, superstar. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Great to have you here. I've got no clock, so that's worrying. Someone's got a drill. Unless it's in the music, because it was making a little ticking sound, I think. But let's get into today's live stream. We might kind of keep it. One thing I want to experiment is being more concise, because I tend to talk a lot. So I'm curious if we can be concise as well. That noise is going to annoy me. Can you hear this? I'll stop now. It stopped. Yeah, I think it was. I heard a bit of ticking. Even now, right? Well, thank you, my friend. And like I said, it might just be a test. Because one thing they might people might attend more of the Monday and Fridays, knowing there's only 2, and get more value from the hypnosis session. So it might be a growth strategy as well. I don't know yet if that'll be successful, but I'm curious to find out. So with that that noise? Can you hear that drilling? Hopefully the music will cover it up, but that will make my editing even worse. But let's get into the episode because it's gonna be okay. Whatever happens, it will be okay. Episode 882 is about to... Oh, cool. Well, let's keep it that way. Remember that hypnosis track as well, the interview nerves one. So I'm going to turn this down just briefly, and then we'll go ahead and get into some new music in a moment, but we'll go ahead and start. Welcome back to the podcast. My name is Joseph Clough, and this is episode 882. And in today's session, we are talking about 5 ways that we can start to stop the inner critic. So we can silence it and we can start to be liberated of it in any situation, whether you're going through an interview, whether you're going into a relationship, whether it be in work, business. This little internal dialogue can start to happen where we go, are you good enough? Are you worthy? What if this happens? What if I fail? What will people think of me? And that then starts to create a lot of anxiety. That creates the fear, the dread, the self-sabotage, the sedation from our experience of the things we really want to be doing to live the life that we really, really want to be. That inner critic can really throw a spanner in the works to just stop us being the authentic self. So let's go ahead and dive right into it. So number one, I want you to realize it is so important not to fight it. We do not want to fight the inner critic because we can have so much resentment around it. We can feel angry about it. Like, why am I always like this? Why does this happen to me? And what that tends to do, it builds up so much that we actually start to become more separated from ourselves. Because I've said this in the past, that when you start to hate your issue, you are hating yourself. And you're actually starting to hate the part of you that is running the inner critic. And what is that part? Well, that is the unconscious mind. So if you're full of hate, anger, resentment to the issue, you are also having that negative energy and association to the part of you that runs the issue, right? So yeah, you can hate in a way the behavior, but when you do, you're also hating that aspect of us that runs it, which is the unconscious mind. So number one, do not do that, because it's only going to make you feel worse. It's only going to make you feel more conflicted because you're battling the unconscious mind, but you're also going to feel more separated. You're not going to be in alignment with your unconscious mind. So rather getting into that, and it's easy to do, by the way, because we do not like the issue itself. We do not like the consequences that actually happen and are birthed into our life if we have this issue. It does stop you living your life. It does stop you not feel good going into that situation or going for your dreams. So I understand it. But at the same time, we need to start to befriend it. Because you're almost like going to that part of you going, look, I don't like the issue, but I still like and love you, right? I love my unconscious mind because think about it. It does so many great things for us. It is running our heart. It is running our neurology. It is running the fight and flight, the habits, the muscles, the healing of the body, the operation of the body. It runs all of these things. So if we start to dislike it, it's going to start to maybe sabotage other areas. So start to have a mission to befriend your unconscious mind. I always say your unconscious mind is your best friend. Your very, very best friend. And if you're having hatred, it's like going to say, if you have a physical best friend beyond your unconscious mind, saying lots of mean things to your unconscious mind. Also, to your friend. You would never do that. But we tend to say it to ourselves and therefore unconscious mind. So make a number one priority to befriend your unconscious mind. You don't have to accept the behavior, but you can accept the part of you that is running it. And what that does is it bridges the gap. It starts you to be in alignment. Your unconscious mind will start listening to you if you start to change your relationship and treat it differently. So now from separation, from conflict, from dislike, hate, and all those things, we're now starting to have a rapport with your unconscious mind. The next step, number two, is start to notice that inner critic. And it's a weird question because it usually just happens, right? It just kind of spirals out of control. But you got to stop and just notice. Can you identify the inner critic? Can you identify how it operates? When does it happen? Like if you reflect over your past, does it happen in certain situations? Are there certain triggers that are creating the inner critic? Is it every time I see my boss or every time I go for an interview? Is it everywhere? Usually it's going to be in a certain context, but I also understand what we do in one thing, we tend to do in everything. But once you start to notice the trigger, and I'll tell you why there has to be a trigger, is because it can only be triggered by an external reality, right? Like we are operating and communicating with the outside world all the time. So it's like a to and from experience. So notice that trigger. What is the triggers that are setting off the inner critic? I don't believe it's just going to happen for no reason. Now, yeah, there may have some historical data that leads to it, because that's where it's going to maybe come from, but it still bounces back and forth from the external triggers that creates the internal trigger. The other thing is, notice how you just generally experience it when it's been triggered. So does it have a particular sound? Sounds weird. Sometimes when I've worked with clients in the past, that inner critic is not even their own voice. Not because they have multiple personalities, but it's been trained. Sometimes it can be maybe an association or a tone like our mother or our father or a teacher. Sometimes it can have its own tone unrelated to people. But I want you to notice the quality, the tone. Do you identify that critic in some way? Does it exist in a way that you can start to understand it and slow the process down? Like, how do you specifically do it? Because you are doing it. It may be unconscious, but once we start to break it down into that strategy, we're now making it a conscious experience. And then you may want to play. There's a bit advanced, but for example, when I work with people with big phobias, I start to change the experience of the phobia. I interrupt the strategy. I make the thing they're fearful become very, very silly. And therefore, they can never have that association to that, because when you're feeling silly toward it, then how can you have fear? So I wonder if you could start to just consciously change the tone. What if it became into a more interesting voice? Like suddenly that inner critic started to go,
well, you're not good enough. You just don't... Like it suddenly gets
a little bit funny, right? When you change the tone of the voice. Maybe you can say it in a laughing way, a joyful way, a loving way. You can change the absolute tone and even the location of that internal, and now we're going to say that internal dialogue, because we want to change it from the critic to just a dialogue, a communication. Maybe you want to be able to add elements to it. Maybe you want to overwhelm it with love. I like to think we can pen things in with love. Like if someone is very, very negative, I want to pen them in with love. I want them to have so much love and kindness sent their way, they cannot operate from that negative state. Because if I can control the state of the person by radiating my energy, therefore they cannot hold that state. It's like someone telling you a joke. Even when you're mad, you will break down and find it maybe a little bit funny, right? If it is funny. So maybe you start to make these little adjustments. These are like changing our modalities, our submodalities technically, the little subsets of how we experience it, the tone, the volume, the sound in general, the location, how you even imagine it in your mind. If you just softened it up, if you started just to kind of play around with it. And what that tends to do, by the way, on a biological level, is you're getting the unconscious mind to have the problem, but observe it in a different way, maybe a funny way or just a different way, that it hallucinates it, and therefore it will start to remember that. It will start to think, every time I think of that inner critic, actually, I remember this new experience that the conscious mind has done for me. Now, the third step is to remember, a bit like going back to number 1, where we don't want to have hatred or anger. So we can increase number 1 here is by realizing the inner critic has a positive intention. It is only there to try to protect you. That's the only reason it exists. It is trying to protect you in some way. It may be a case of it doesn't want you to fail, it doesn't want you to go for your dreams in case something may happen. But whatever it is a protective mechanism. So when you start to think about the inner critic from that protective mechanism, so forget about the behavior, consider the intention of what it's trying to do for you, we can then go into number 4, which is in a way becoming more conscious or maybe more stoic of the evidence of the inner critic. Like, if there's an inner critic, well, I want to be able to come up with what is the evidence that that thing could happen. What is the evidence I could fail? And if I do fail, what's it really going to mean? Does it mean the end of my world? The chances are it won't be. It won't be good, but it's not going to be the most terrible thing in the world to ever happen to you. And what that does, it takes the energy, it takes the charge down. And then your unconscious mind goes, well, yeah, it's not going to be the worst thing in the world. And it starts to just reel it in a little bit. But you also may take it another step further, which is to be able to think of all the data or the challenges of that inner critic, which proves it wrong. Like, maybe if you can come up with all the evidence as to why you are enough, all the evidence of how you're capable or how you want to be, and what that would give you, then you're reframing the unconscious mind. You're actually kind of almost negotiating that there's a different way, and there's this counter evidence that if I can find enough of, will allow the inner critic to disappear because it's no longer needed. There's a safer way of being. Even to the point, let's say it is an association of, say, a parental figure growing up, that internal critic. It's not even your voice. This inner critic was not even yours to be had. It was just assumed to be true, maybe when you were very, very young, when you didn't know any better. You didn't have any other evidence to choose a good, positive inner dialogue. And therefore, the unconscious mind may go, well, if it's not mine, or at the very least, I didn't choose it in a way, because I assumed it to be true based on the evidence, and now as an adult I have all this other evidence which counter or contradicts the inner critic, it will start to have to decrease and even disappear. Now the next thing, which is number 5, which kind of goes into number 2, you notice there's little themes here between it when we're saying about changing it. Well, we want to just interrupt the pattern. There's a few ways, doing what I said in number 2, but there's going to be some other great ways as well. If you go ahead and rehearse in your mind exactly how you want to be in that situation, because you've not, on number 2, you slow the process down, you are aware of the triggers and how it operates. Well, if you start to imagine and hallucinate how you want to be in that future situation, and it can take time. You may want to rehearse exactly how you want to be, observing yourself in that image, that's important, or observing yourself in that movie, so you're not associated, you're in a dissociated state. And the reason being, because it takes away negative energy or emotions, and you can see it with more clarity. But when you start to observe yourself, you are pre-teaching your unconscious mind. You are saying that this is the better way. Sometimes with my clients, I've just done one process 10 times in a row, and the biggest issue they experienced for their whole life just disappeared. All by repetitive pre-teaching. And even if it takes like 10 minutes, or because you're doing it 10 times or half hour, it's gonna make a huge shift in your life. And then the last aspect of this fifth step, which is gonna be a combination of all these things, which is to listen to the Stop the Inner Critic hypnosis session. That's going to be the real powerful option. But there's going to be two parts to this, two elements, because there's going to be a day one, but then the more powerful one is the nighttime one, the sleep hypnosis of stopping the inner critic. And why that is really more powerful, I like to think, is because when you listen to it as you go to sleep, you're handing it over to the unconscious mind, because we become unconscious when we're asleep, right? We're not consciously there on our sleeping awareness. We're just drifting and dreaming. So if you can listen to that real deep, powerful sleep time, nighttime transformation of the inner critic, of stopping the inner critic, I will get you the pre-teaching. I'll give you the interruptions, the strategies of learning, being safer in the future. All those rehearsals. So yeah, do the other things I've said, but if you want to just supercharge it, well, that's what I would do. And the good news is, it's going to be out on the very next episode. And if you are a subscriber to my app, which is, if you haven't got it, if you just listen to this on the YouTube or the podcast, you have so much more to explore about my work. If you go to freehypnosis.app, I have 10x more content that you can dive into, from custom hypnosis sessions, from 4-hour sleep sessions, playlist creation, audio programs, morning meditations. You can repeat, you can download for offline listening, you can favor them so it appears right at the top. All of those things. You will also get the bonus sleep version of this inner critic, Stop the Inner Critic hypnosis session. So I'm super excited for that if you are a part of the app. Either way, you're going to get the free daytime version, because I am here to support as many people, and that's why we've done 882 episodes, this being that one. But I think you're going to thoroughly enjoy by applying the things that I've said. Don't resist, don't have hate, don't have that separation. Reconnect and negotiate. Listen and identify what is the inner critic to start to make changes to it. Changing the tone, changing the tempo, changing the association, in other words, because it gets your unconscious mind to go there, right? Like if I say, don't think of a blue tree, you think of a blue tree. So if I go ahead and get my unconscious mind to focus on the different things, it has to go there to try it on and notice what happens when you do. And once again, number 3, the positive intention. It bridges the gap and it starts you that renegotiation. Number 4, we want to discover the evidence. We want to have the counter, or the disruptive evidence of how it's not true, and then the counter evidence of why it is no longer needed. And then fifth is to interrupt the process, listen, wherever you do the repetitive side of things. And I say repetitive, it's not a bad thing, it's a great thing. I love doing it. I can let go of issues just like that when I do it. But also on top of that, the day and the sleep hypnosis, that's the bonus one for those part of the app at freehypnosis.app. But if you don't have that sleep one, use all the other things I said. It was going to make a huge transformation to the inner critic so you can speak power into your life. You can have words of affirmation every single day. You can speak new realities into your life because you are supercharged and empowered, all from within, to generate that super effortless, kind, loving internal dialogue. And also, I forgot to say about the app, just thinking about it, it's totally ad-free. You have 0 ads on it. It is all just yours to use in every single way. So 882 episodes, all ad-free, let alone everything else is ad-free. So with that, my friends, I look forward to speaking to you on the next episode, which will be the free hypnosis for the inner critic, the day version, and those who are a part of the app, you'll get the sleep one the very next day. So with that, I look forward to speaking to you on that session. Many thanks and goodbye. And welcome back from the live recording. You did it. We did it. Episode 882 is done. We are moving swiftly toward the thousandth episode. Now only 118 away from 1,000 episodes. So there we go. 5 little steps, very powerful results if you start to apply them. And if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. If you're on YouTube, just hit the thumbs up. You will not know the glorious things that can happen when you do. I'm not promising, but I am suggesting. Hey, Carrie, great to have you here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you are well and good and great. Just scrolling. And hey, Med, great to have you here as well. No problems, you'll get the replay. You are most welcome, Sue. And thank you, Mina, as well. A superstar over here as well. Just what you needed to hear. Pleased to hear that. And welcome back. Welcome, welcome. Late for the show. That's okay, Melody. Last time your comment interrupted the show. As in, I placed the comment on the changeover. Thank you, Cheryl. That's very, very kind of you. And thank you ever so much as well to Michelle and Leah. Thank you. So if you did get in a little bit late, we were discussing the possibility that not this Wednesday. So usually I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. East Coast, and also 11 p.m. in the United Kingdom. I'm thinking of stopping my Wednesday ones so I can just be in my place to record them, and it saves me time. At the moment, I'm spending of my working week around 6 minimum hours per week dedicated to my free work, which is good, but the live streams aren't really growing at the moment. But we've kind of been consistent. I've been doing this for like 2.5 years, 3 years going live. And although we're getting, we've got 24, my lucky number, we've got 24 viewers right now. Great to have you all here. But I'm thinking of stopping the Wednesday live stream and then just uploading it so I can save time and be more efficient in my other side of the business, which kind of funds all my free work. So it means I can actually potentially do more in the future. That's what it kind of means. Like, I really believe in conscious business. We can actually fund more, especially with all the stuff we're doing with the app, which, by the way, there'll be an update tomorrow or Wednesday. I've got the version, so I invested some money into this on making the app open super quickly. So it's all up already. So I'm going to close it again. bang, open like that. But also I've added, let me just do that. Well, let's just do another one actually. I'm gonna scroll all the way back to this one. It's simple, but we've got, if you heart it, it appears in its own little section on the app as well now. Can you tell that? Can you see that? I can't see that. Come on, do something, camera. Let's go to night screen mode. Maybe that will do it. Maybe that will do it. Settings, dark mode. Ah. That's a little bit better. See, there's only a little section. It's got favorites. So, 2 new improvements. One being a speed enhancement. App will open within a few seconds rather than the 7 or so we're having right now, and also the little free section. And also there's going to be some more saving for you. It means if you've got a profile, I'm making rather the App Store save things, I'm going to save them on your behalf. That means you don't have to recreate a ton of things. We're kind of doing that already in a way, but we're doing it much more. Hey Modesto, great to have you here. Welcome, my friend. All the way on Facebook. I actually forgot as well, when I was live, Nestor is here as well. So welcome. On the app, how do I register? I want to add the app to my phone. Right now, well, just go to freehypnosis.app. It's going to take you to the store of your choice. And then, if you want, then what you do is you set up your own profile. And you do that on the beginning. So it's going to look like that. You kind of sign in. Beep, beep. Oh no, not that one. I pressed the wrong button. Continue. And then what happens is you have your own little private profile, and it has like playlists, downloads, check-ins, the settings there as well, and all sorts. So just download the app at freehypnosis.app, and if you're on your device, your mobile, and you'll be fine. You will be fine. Thank you, Cheryl. That's very kind of you. Mr. C has actually, just like magic, he's disappeared. He's disappeared. So all you get is my ugly mug. You are most welcome. But remember, this Wednesday I will be live as usual, but maybe next week I will not be live on Wednesday. So I got a lot to do about my app. I've just had another idea. By the way, did you hear my voice
Change when I was doing the podcast?
I thought about it in the moment. I don't know what it's going to be like on the edit.
But I thought it'd be kind of cool.
I heard it in my ears. But it should have gone through. I don't see why not. But there we go. Another episode completed. Oh, I forgot to say one thing at the end. I said it on Friday about the 2 wolves you feed. But I totally forgot to say it. Oh, good. I thought it could be a good interruption to that.
Experience of the inner dialogue. You're not worthy. You're not deserving.
You're not worthy. You're not deserving.
All the things. I should have done this one. No.
This one. You're not good enough, worthy.
Anyway, it's good to have some fun. And I need to sort out my mic because I hit it like 3 times and it interrupted. So there's a loose connection somewhere. Oh, awesome. I should do that again. Great to have you on the stream, by the way. Welcome, welcome. When I let go of phobias, and the quickest I can do it is in about 5 minutes, I lean into that a lot. Lean into changing it all. So the client is actually laughing when they think of their phobia. Yeah, exactly. Be gone. Be gone. But I've been almost live for another hour. Speaking live, anyway. So we'll probably close it off here. And as I said, I'll be back on Wednesday for maybe the last ever live hypnosis session for a while. Maybe not forever. Don't want to say forever, ever. We shall see. Unless, if Kevin Michael reads here, if he comes up with a better solution, then maybe. We'll see. And it could be just temporary. If I can handle the other stuff I do, then I can maybe keep doing it. It'd be kind of cool to go live every day of the week. I think that'd be kind of cool. Or 5 times per week. Not every day of the week. 365 days a year. I bet I can. That's one, I've done it plenty of times. I've got to edit. I do bare minimal editing, by the way. Usually, but hypnosis is different. I like to edit more there, but I do need to edit more. If I want to be able to reach more, I need to edit more. But we'll see. Goodbye and thank you, everyone. I will speak to you very, very soon. As soon as Wednesday. And thank you for any thumbs up on YouTube, and I will speak to you then. You might get put through to the 24-hour live stream of mine on confidence and positivity. If not, at the end of this stream, you'll see the video thumbnail appear, and you just tap that, and then you got me 24 hours, 7 days per week, until you get bored and go, I'm done. I'm so done with that voice, I'm just done with my issue. What were you going to say? You are most welcome. Great to have you on the stream. Great to have you here. Just going to see a couple more. There we go. On my run last week, I saw a tarantula. An actual one. Not the one I thought I had. Another one. And in Cambridge, we had a tarantula. My dad did. But pleased that you are brave and most welcome. Yeah, so actually I'm playing around today with some AI stuff for that. So I generated, they're not all that good, but some are good. I generated one of my older ones Ish. Yeah. And the reels and things. So I'm gonna see if this works. No. 1 second. Before I go. Is that the one I want? It's not the screenshot I want. I'd share my browser, but I forgot how to on here. Well, I'm going live anyway. No, I tripped. I'm almost all healed up now on a rock or a shoelace. Still got a big bruise. Still got a big bruise though. Here we go. That was a good little... So this is one that it generated. So I'm going to play around with the AI stuff. The video effectively grabs viewers' attention with an intriguing hook sentence. Well, thank you. That's very kind of you to say, AI. The speaker's point, that's me, are well organized and built upon each other coherently. Well, that's a rare thing. The video has a clear introduction, body, and conclusion, providing a complete message. The speaker's personal experiences, yeah, I talk about my personal stuff. Insights create a valuable, relatable connection. It aligns with a popular trend of personal development. I should have just made this smaller. There you go. It's far prettier. And there's more as well. So... So yeah, I am playing around because it has all the captions. Boop. Yes, I will. 4 miles in the bag today. 4 more tomorrow. Yeah, exactly. I don't use it too often, but this might help in the time being. But it generated... that's a screenshot. One clip, it generated 19 of them. Some weren't very good. And by the way, there was a reason today this camera's not moving. Because the AI does not like my moving of my camera. Because it kind of catches me like this. And that's not good. So I wanted a central side shot to test the AI even more. Yeah. If not, I'll have to hire someone to potentially do it. We'll see. Play around with this episode. That's what I'm going to do. I also isolated it to this recording to have no background music. Yeah, Kevin's producing, editing, well, not editing as such, producing stuff. But anyway, great to have you all here. I look forward to speaking to you on episode 883. 83 is a good year, by the way. Great year. Amazing year. 1983. Great year. But I will speak to you all on Wednesday for those who would like to. And remember, sleep positivity stream coming up. We all concluded it was, main takeaway is awesome. That's what we all concluded. I was like, that was an awesome. Oh, you mean like the actual finer points? Roughly, don't fight, separates. 2, listen, identify, isolate, change. 3, intent. 4, stoic, proving evidence wrong, finding counter evidence. 5, interrupting in a real clean, clear way with a hidden bonus of a day in sleep version. But that's more of a summary rather than a takeaway. But a takeaway was pretty good. Pretty good. Wow. Not sure about that. Is it? No. 83. If people think 82, 85 is the best, all clap. Oh, bugger. All clap now. All I hear is crickets. For those who think 83 is the best year ever, applause and clap, and that will be the... Oh, there we go. It's been done. There we go, I said it. That wasn't me at all. You are most welcome. Anyway, we've got to leave the stream. Nice. What, 6-hour flight? 5-6 hours flight? I can't remember. I flew there. The 80s were good. They're great. Anyway, we're talking about being efficient and now we're just chatting. So I will leave now. Thank you ever so much. I will speak to you all soon. Stay around if you want to be on the 24-hour stream. I might see you over there for a brief few moments. But with that, many thanks and goodbye.